All right, time to fix this thing. Let's do this. So it's been 6 days since my last video. I usually don't go this long with uploading. Yeah, what has been happening? Well, let me tell you what's happened. We went thrift store shopping. How many shoes, pairs of shoes did you guys buy?
Between Audrey and I, 11.
What about you?
No comment.
We got dressed and we went to church. All right, so it's that time when everybody dresses up. I'm gonna have to leave you alone. And then I started fixing the bus. All right, guys, update. I took it all apart. Here's the transmission. There's like zero play. I mean, there's tiny amount of play, no big deal. But here is the differential, right? And this came in that transmission. All I did was put these axles in here using these fulcrum plates. And these look like a little bit burned. I don't remember if they were like that before, but here is what is happening. Look, these are kind of stuck together. They don't spin. Those are the spider gears, and they should be spinning. So that's problem number one. Problem number two, you hear that? They're super loose, which tells me that the fulcrum plates need to be bigger. I need to space them out. But the fact that they're tight in there maybe tells me that this differential was different than the one over there on the original transmissions. And what has happened now is I've deformed these gears, not the spider gears, but the gears, the axle gears, and that's why they're tight in here and they don't really move. That's why when I spin this one, the whole differential spins instead of the one spinning one way and then the other one. So the differential is really not working the way it's supposed to, and I think that's probably the reason why this whole thing is shaking. The shake is not from the motor, it's not from the clutch, because the frequency of the shake doesn't match the motor RPMs, it matches the wheel RPMs, which would have to mean that is in the differential here, or in the axle, or in the wheels, but it's not the wheels, it's this differential here. So this differential has issues that I can see. Of course, I don't know what I'm talking about because I don't know anything about this. I'm just mechanically speaking, this is not supposed to be like that. It's not supposed to have all that play. It didn't have it the first time that I installed it. I checked that, right, to see if it had play. It didn't have play, so I thought, oh, it's good, it goes in there. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to get these out. I'm gonna get the differential from that and see if I can put them in there. If I can put them in there, then I'm gonna put that whole differential in this new transmission. Hopefully that's gonna work, because that differential there had no problem. And so what I need to do for the future is get new axles with new fulcrum plates and new everything in here, right? Something that fits in here. I should have done that from the beginning. I just didn't think there was gonna be a problem installing a new differential to the axles, to the currently existing axles. But it turns out it's not as easy as everyone said it was. You need to be able to measure stuff and tolerances, and then, only then, can you install this properly. Because if not, you get this sort of stuff. So I think I found my problem. Let's see if I can fix it. Now let's talk about the previous video in which I asked all of you guys to see if you can help me diagnose. I want to thank every single person that put their thoughts down in the comments. There was a lot of people said that the problem with the motor shaking was that I did not secure it or brace it from the back. Even though at first glance that might seem like that might be the problem, it was very clear to me that it wasn't. And the reason why is because, well, there are like 25 million BWs out in the world that have the motors, you know, just hanging. You know, that transmission, that whole transaxle was designed to have, you know, 150, 200 pound motor hanging from the back. But there are a bunch of EVs, you know, that same motor that I have on my bus exists in a large number of vehicles without a problem. So bracing the thing would actually not help. I mean, it would help the bouncing around that you see in the video, but all that bouncing was just gonna transfer into the bus, right? And so that wasn't the cause. That was a result of something being wrong, right? So you don't want to fix the symptoms, you want to fix the causes, right? Now, to everyone's defense, it was really, really hard to diagnose that because, I mean, even though I've been around BWs for a long time, I had no idea. It's much less you guys that are just looking at a video, right? So now I'm going to show you what was the problem. Here is a typical BW differential. This is how the axle attaches to the differential. That just slides in there, right? The only weird thing here is that all BWs like this one are what is known as swing axle instead of the CV axles, right? So it allows it to swing this way, right? So that's how they handle the different angles. What happened was, like you can see it here, there's a mark here in this fulcrum plate. What happened is that one of these plates fell in like this. I think what happened is that this axle pulled out too much and one of these plates fell like this. And so then allowing this thing to have a ton of play. And because it had a ton of play like this, then it caused some damage into these gears here. See how that's split right there? That's cracked. And so that increased the circumference of this gear, which then got scarred up here, the inside of this differential, right? So what I need to do is need to buy new gears, axle gears, and fulcrum plates, and who knows, maybe just axles. I don't really know where to buy those, but I guess I'm gonna have to do some Google searches and see who will have these new. I don't even know what size they are. I have no idea if there are different kinds. It's just weird. But I think that's why I think this is the problem. Since that is, see how it doesn't have any play? They're actually pretty good. But when it fell, look, it just fell right there. Right? So because of that, that means the axle is not perfectly centered on this. And so now if it's off center, then that's gonna cause some vibration. And that was the vibration that I kept feeling, because then the axle is like crooked like that. So I'm gonna put it all together, see if I can prevent the axle from pulling out too much. I don't know why that fulcrum fell. I don't know if it was on both sides or just one side, but I think it was on both sides, because when I was pulling it out, I could see that much play. And that's no good. So mystery solved. I just don't know why that happens. So I got something in the mail. Let's check out what it is. These are cover plates for torsion bars. Made in the USA. Hey, thank you, Nate. This is Nate from Wagons West. Nate has a very cool shop, specializes in BW buses. And that's where I bought some of my original parts to lower my bus. And I just had a conversation with him the other day, and I told him that I didn't have the right bolts to secure my back axle, right? He was gracious enough to send me some bolts so I can use that, and he went ahead and did this. He has a shop apparently, and he's got CNC machines, and he just manufactures all kinds of stuff for BW buses. So if you have a bus, check out Nate's website, wagonswest.com. All right, so it's the next day, and what I ended up doing was getting 2 new end gears for about 50 bucks. I ended up getting 4 fulcrum plates. I think those were like $7 each or something. And then I ended up using the same differential because the other one and the other transmission, I think has a different ring and pinion gear, and you can interchange. I just couldn't easily do it, right? So I ended up putting the new end gears on the old differential, which is not ideal, I guess, because since that one, the part where it spins here, it's kind of damaged. It's got, you know, so it's probably not gonna last the same as if both were new, or they both were in good shape. But it's gonna be good enough for now. It's gonna run. It's super quiet now. It's nice and steady. There's absolutely no shakes anymore. The Samba's up and running. It was a $200 lesson on how to install axles. If I ever come across that same wobble in the future, or if I hear those same cracks when you jack up the car, I will know exactly what the problem is, and I can hopefully eliminate damaging more of these guys, right? So I really did not want to open up and learn how to work in transmissions, but I just had to do it, and now I'm glad I do, because now I know a little bit more. And so I hope that also by me making this video, it also helps someone out there, right? So I'm gonna test it tomorrow by going all the way to Malibu, which is about 70 miles away. And that means that I'm gonna be looking for a place to charge. Right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get working on the bus and finish installing the J1772 port so that I can just charge pretty much anywhere that there is any EV public charging station, right? So if anyone watching this video lives in Malibu and wants to hang out tomorrow, put it in the comments. We're gonna be in your town tomorrow. You never know, we might have a chance to stop by and have a drink or something. So thank you for watching. Thank you once again to my patrons, and I will see you guys on the next video. Okay, bye.
What's up with the sunglasses?
I make coffee. I'm Casey Neistat. Look at me.
They're Ray-Bans, right?
They're Ray fans.